FamCast Media, bitch.
All right. Welcome to another episode of Hit the Mics with Ryan D. I, of course, am Ryan D.
And I am your co-host, Steve Rogers.
That's right. And
Fucking
joined,
Captain America. Hell yeah, dog.
and we are joined today
With Zach Miller, dog.
Zach Miller, dog.
Hey,
What's up, dude?
paso, amigos.
How are you, man?
It's good to be here. What's up, party people at home? I'm good, man. I've been shooting all day in LA, and then I was headed back to the IE. So swinging through the hottest fucking pod in El Monte, Holmes.
Hell yeah, dog.
Because I know what the fuck it is.
So what were you shooting in LA today?
Like a little pilot project, doing with some homies. It's on the low key.
Yeah, of course. Because I'm like, I thought
It's on the
all
super.
productions
It's
were
on the
slowed down.
super low key.
Yeah,
It's
fuck it, you gotta do what you gotta do.
it's
Though.
a project I'm developing with some cats. So it's surrounding weed and comedy.
Yeah.
There we go.
My lane.
That's your life.
Pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
You-
I built that lane and I'm riding in it. So we'll see what happens.
What?
You turn the music off.
I'm just going to let it roll.
It's the bed,
All right.
man. He's like
Yeah,
a radio DJ. Let
No,
the bed
so-
roll.
So can you talk about any kind of details of the project, or are you still just holding to the chest?
Not
for
that
now?
project, but I could talk about like what's going on in general with my comedy and that.
let's hear it.
I have like a bunch of projects that I'm doing that I don't necessarily want to talk about yet because they're in development.
Oh, of course.
Because you open your mouth about shit and then it
Then it
takes
doesn't
poo
happen.
poo and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
fucking not
Yeah.
because it's like some top secret shit, just because I'd hate to jinx it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Because nothing's real until the fucking
Until
the
it's
check
done.
clears.
Yeah, until the check clears.
Yep.
You.
And most
export.
projects are on spec in this town. You know what I'm saying? You do it, and then you hope you get enough heat off it that it pays you some money or gets you another job that pays.
Yeah.
Because that's. I mean, yeah, I'm sure you guys are doing this on the strength.
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, and I worked in Hollywood for a short bit, which is working for free as a PA, hoping to get the next gig that actually pays, and then getting some gigs that pay, and then all I'm getting are like non-paying gigs. I'm like, fuck you, like I'm not going back to working for free, and yeah, it's a struggle.
Yeah.
It's a tough. I've been in the game for 17 years, so I've had like literally. I got into the industry in 2000. Well, the entertainment industry. In 2001 when I had my first internship in New York.
Yeah.
And fucking 2 months later, the fucking World Trade Center crashed.
Yeah,
while I was
put a
there.
pause on everything.
Fuck.
And then I came to LA, got my wolf going a little bit as a producer and manager, comic, then producer and manager. And then the fucking economy crashed in 08. I lost a big ass deal with Warner Brothers.
Were you
As
a
a
manager
producer.
before you started doing stand-up yourself, or?
No, I was a comic first, but not for very long. Like I did comedy like 03, 04, and then early 05, hung it up to just do the business side of things.
Yeah.
And I did that till about 2010 when I started hosting all the shows I was booking, and that got me back on stage.
That
But
Gaslamp show.
had a mean run.
That
from-
Gaslamp show was always fun, man.
Yeah, I was 5.5-year run on Wednesdays.
Yeah.
The
Very few breaks.
The Gaslamp. It's a big like bar restaurant in Long Beach.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like more like a music venue. Like they
it's
specialize.
like a House of Blues kind of.
Oh.
Kind
Okay,
of,
okay.
yeah. They specialize in like cover bands and shit.
Yeah.
And then I came in with the homie Rick. We started doing comedy. Then I just kept running it, and I ran that for 5.5 years on Wednesday. We had a bunch of big names, and we had a bunch of showcases.
Bunch of little names
Yeah.
like me.
Yeah. Just showcases because I couldn't get a big name every
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah.
But
Is
I
that how
wanted
you
to have
guys
the
met?
show.
Yeah,
Maybe? Maybe?
I'm pretty sure I just bugged the shit out of you for spots. That's how we met.
That's how I met most people.
Yeah,
As a booker.
I was a thirsty youngin.
Yeah,
You
it's
got
nice
there.
to not book anymore and just get booked.
Yeah,
So I booked for so long, so many shows, and to not have to like A, use that as a bargaining chip or wondering why people are booking me for their shit.
Yeah.
Or B, just have to deal with being a booker in the comedy community. It's just, it gets old. I did it for a long time.
Yeah.
I'll probably book again, but not like I used to.
It gets tired because, like, I mean, I know, well, I run my local shows and stuff.
Yeah, great shows.
Thanks, man. But it's like, sometimes you just kind of feel like, people are hitting you up just to, you know what I mean? Like they're not even
fake friends.
Yeah, like real fake people. And then they won't even give you the time of day for like any of their shows or anything like that.
Humans in general are pretty fake.
Yeah.
But in the entertainment business, multiply it by 6. In the comedy business, multiply it by like 600.
Yeah.
I mean, not really. There's a lot of good people and a lot of cowboys, but in general, especially in LA.
Oh yeah. Well,
I mean, I'm sure you're the same way, but like for me, it's like I got like a handful of people that I started with that I'm still friends with. Like and it's
that's
like
the same as grade school,
right? But those are the guys that I just genuinely trust and like our friends and like we're supportive of each other and stuff like that. I mean, you being one of them.
Oh, thanks, bro.
Yeah. But but there's a lot of people you run through. Just
I try not to like. It's just the nature of the business. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't take it personally. Just like I would hope you wouldn't take unless somebody promises you some shit or like just I'm always the same dude. So you're never gonna have any problems like that with me because I'll tell you no.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you why I'm telling no.
Yeah.
And we won't have that problem.
Well, speaking of fake friends, I remember we talked about this, like, I talked to you guys about it last week.
I thought he was about to fucking throw some shit at me right now.
No.
Speaking of fake friends.
It happened yesterday. Because I told you, like, I was getting a lot of texts from people that I haven't talked to in, like, years. Just like, hey, like, are you okay
right now
with, like, everything that's going on? With
why, just because you're, like, the one black person that can text?
So I was I'm getting those texts. And like I had some like real friends that would reach out and we would talk, and then these fake friends where I'm like, you just want to pat yourself on the back, like, oh, I checked on my one black friend that I haven't talked to in like 5 years just to see if he's okay, so I can feel good about myself and
like
get rid of that white guilt.
Yeah, but that white guilt, boy.
Yeah, but one of the girls, she hit me up.
Killer.
She did that. It was one of the ones I was bitching about last week. Then she hit me up again today, and she's like, hey, like, by the way, are you free like in a couple weeks because I'm moving and I'm broke and I need someone to help me move?
No, she did not.
Yeah, she did.
She asked you to help her move?
She asked me to help her move. And
oh man, wow.
She's a white woman, isn't she?
She's Mexican actually. But it was still just like, yo, you had to check in first, like, oh shit, like I gotta check in to make sure, like, and then like, oh yeah, I was gonna wait and ask you, but I decided just ask you now. And it's like, that's why I hate being big. The only reason I hate being big is because I'm like a fucking pickup truck. Well, anyone who needs a move, like, they're like, oh, remember that big dude we used to know? Like, let's call him and just say like, oh, we'll give you beer.
Well, I guess that's how we know we're really friends, because you've helped me move like 3 times.
Yeah, because we're actually friends and we actually hang out.
Yeah, moving's the fucking worst. And I'm sorry people ask you that, especially in conjunction with that situation.
I've moved around so much, and I've had my brothers and friends help me move so many times that like now I can't say no to anybody who asks me.
Yeah, right.
Because I'm just like, fuck.
No doubt. It's kind of one of the it's an American cultural thing to help your friends move.
Have a friend move or take them to the airport.
But like, you don't ask people you haven't talked to in fucking forever.
Especially when a fucking race riot is going on.
Like happening, like,
and be like, no.
Like, oh, shit, I was gonna ask him to move anyway. Maybe I should just like check up on him first.
Right.
And then like, oh, by the way.
Yeah.
You should hit her with some real blunt response. Be like, I can think about it, but what's your situation with sucking dick right now? Or like, where are you at in your life with anal?
You may not have any money.
Talk to me about details of this transaction. I'm not saying no. I'm just not saying yes until you inform me a little bit more about the compensation.
I can buy myself beer.
Yeah.
I need more than that. Like, what else do you got?
Yeah.
There's currency in that mouth.
Yeah, dude. If it's like that, then it's got to just be like that.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to be crass and come out of nowhere and ask me to move, I'm going to be crass and ask you to fucking get me a hot load out of my nuts for it. And I don't think that's unreasonable. Because you can both say no, and we're straight. Like, we weren't talking last month.
We can go back.
You started this. These black nuts matter, dog.
Oh, fuck. Oh, shit.
There it is.
That was good.
Stupid.
What did you say? Remember we were talking about like dating and stuff, and you were like, I was complaining because like I was going out with this chick and I kept like paying for everything. And,
oh yeah.
And then they wouldn't. And then one night she just decided not to put out after I like spent like all this money on this dinner.
Like she.
But
Hey,
we had already had sex.
No doubt, and that's her prerogative.
Yeah,
and
sure.
you're a fucking sucker bitch for fucking
sure.
attaching fucking sex to money without an actual agreement to sex for money.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Right.
Because you told me like she wanted to go to this like Italian restaurant and like buy all this extra shit and like dessert and all this, and you're shelling out all the money. And you didn't really have a job at the time.
No, I was on
so you didn't have a lot of money, and she knew
You got played.
Yeah, so you're spending all that, and so my thing was like, yo, if I'm gonna go home with an empty wallet, I better be going home with some empty nuts.
Balls,
yeah, and you have to pre-negotiate that arrangement. You can't turn a woman into a prostitute post payment.
Yeah, like appetizers.
Don't work like
dessert,
that.
So and I'm picking you up.
You were being generous, not paying for a service.
So she should have blew me before we ate. Is what you're saying?
You should have brought up the fact that you had expectations.
No, leave some room for some dick
before you get your feelings hurt. You might want to communicate a little better with your dates if that's what you think is what's happening. Because I think you just got ganked for a fucking meal, and she probably either gave it up to another vato later that night.
And she could eat too.
That girl could eat, bro.
Eat. It's cold, man. That's cold-blooded.
That girl could eat. Can you give me one?
Yeah, I don't take girls to a nice dinner till at least like the first or second anniversary, and I mean years.
That's the key to marriage right there.
Yeah. I mean, dude, make them earn it. You got to.
Yeah, and now.
Take your time, dude. You gotta date your friends. Sex is just sex.
Yeah. Well, that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, man, you're a scrub, dog. You should look into retuning your whole concept of women, and you would do much better.
Sometimes it takes time to learn.
No doubt.
I'll never learn.
Yeah.
Find a queen. Find a queen you can serve. It's true.
Yeah.
If a queen will, I mean, some of them will stomp on your heart, but it's a dangerous game, love, man.
Pretty much walking through the land.
How long have you been married?
I've been with my lady for about 13 years.
Nice.
Yeah, dude. Still going, dude.
She's a smoke show too, man.
Smoke show, big time. She was in Lowrider magazine. I don't like to fucking brag about that too much, but pretty hot credit.
Yeah, you gotta be. You're in Lowrider. What issue? What you?
You'd have trouble finding that shit, bro.
Nice
You'd have real. I don't even know if it actually went to print or she was just on the website.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. But I think she was in the magazine. Either way, she's the mother of my kids, and don't be digging up fucking any of you nasty fucking weirdos out there. Shit, if you can find it, have a blast. She ain't naked. She just got some fucking.
Hey, be careful what you wish for.
She's just next to some cholos lowrider with like a nameplate covered in boobs.
She's airbrushed on someone's foot.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mommy, that lady looks like you.
That's what's up. Yeah, dude. It's for us. It's ups, dude. Relationships. It takes time, man.
Yeah.
Like the love you have for a woman when you meet her versus like after 10 years of raising kids together is a completely different. It's like a trust love that you can't understand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You go through that.
I'd imagine like after having kids, it's a complete like game changer.
Well, you just want to be with your best friend.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's really the score.
Right.
The other stuff comes and goes. The heat, the hotness, that comes and goes, the romance. But the friendship, that's the base of all of that shit.
Yeah, you were talking about going out and having a weekend in Vegas to bang it out in a foreign hotel room, right?
Well, I'm glad you're bringing that back up during the recorded part of the conversation.
Sorry.
All right. Yeah, we snuck away to Vegas because it opened this weekend just to see what it was about.
I didn't know Vegas closed. I thought they were just
the casino's been closed for and they're still not all reopened, just select ones. But they closed, I don't know, a while ago. As soon as the shit started.
Been down for a while since everything went down.
3 months.
How do you feel about this whole thing?
What?
We were talking about it outside for a little bit, but like my other two co-hosts on my other podcast, like I was saying, they're like terrified to go anywhere. I haven't literally seen those guys since February. in person at least.
Yeah, there's some people that have been laying pretty low. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm not an epidemiologist, and I would never claim to be. I try and aggregate information the best I can. This is probably one of the best and worst times to aggregate information. There's a lot of distractions, but there's a lot of good access too. So I try and find the best information. Personally, I think people should still social distance the best they can. We're doing it the best we can right now, I guess. I think the information keeps changing, which is unfortunate as to the specifics of how this virus operates. The world keeps turning. And I know how I know how this country works in the sense that, like, I've watched the middle class get straight jacked.
Yeah.
And the richer get richer and the poor get poorer because of a major event like the CDO scandal in 2008, where nobody went to prison. I can't believe Lee Mazzoni never went to jail.
Thing in the world,
They did a movie that The Big Hurt absolutely nailed what happened.
Oh, The Big Short.
The Big Short.
Yeah.
And nobody went to jail. Nothing.
No, just paid
some
fines.
That was a straight gaffle, dude. Of billions and trillions of dollars for the wealthy class.
Nothing.
They just broke people, dude, and didn't give a motherfuck, and they're going to do it again.
Yeah, they're going to lay some people off. They're going to, do stock buybacks for the bailouts and do the same shit. It's happening now.
It's totally happening, and these people are fucking dreaming if they think the government's going to take care of them forever.
No, because they're in their pockets.
Although I just saw something. It looks like the House passed another bill, but it'll be dead in the Senate.
Oh, yeah.
And then, how much can this country protest? So now we got to protest about Black Lives Matter and the fact that the government is going to let everybody get kicked out of their apartments. And then what are they going to use the police? Let me guess. They're going to use the police and National Guard to evict Americans?
Yeah.
Are they going to do that?
They're going to use that as an excuse to up their budgets again.
Probably.
Got other funding from other places.
And then we're going to be having a conversation in 2 months. Are you allowed to own things?
Yeah.
Then give me your everything. If I can't own 15 planes and 16 acres of land, then you can't own that beer.
Yeah, one beer.
And that's it's fascism is what it really is.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's the politics of, just really, really deep tribalism. But not everybody's playing the game. Not everybody's, I think I think we're starting to see there's more common road that we can find. And
it's crazy that, obviously it's not that different, but like the amount of tribalism there is when we live in a time with like so much information where all you got to do is Google something. And look it up, but people don't. They stay in their bubble. They don't. This
chick I went to high school the other day shared an article about a black female police officer being shot in her squad car. Okay, and it was one of those garbage ass fucking template news articles from fucking, it's the news.us.eatballs.russia.
right.
And I read it and immediately was like, oh, this is like a straight up propaganda fucking job. And so I Googled the officer's name to see, because it was almost a ridiculous name. And so I Googled it, and it turns out this officer, a female woman of color, had been shot in the face in her car in 2017.
Yeah.
And this article tried to
the protest
make it be like some black looter rioter shot a black female officer in the face. It's not about race. It's like, the propaganda is real, bro.
Okay, we got
and she got in fights with people about it. And she befriended people about it.
Oh, God.
Who DM me because I put on her thread like, sweetheart, like you got to not share out of emotion or at least Google, because I looked at this article and other people did too.
Yeah.
And she befriended me too, actually.
Yeah, well, that's one discussion.
And I was real polite about it. Specifically polite because she's somebody I went to high school with who I know is a mother who has children, and probably doesn't have time to educate herself like I do. So I said it in a very polite way. Nope, defriended, unfriended. Fuck you. You make my bubble hurt, and I can't handle it.
People just read headlines. They don't read the story.
And then they get fired up with their dumb little brains that have only the experiences they have. Yeah. They've never left their city. They've never lived in other countries. No. They don't understand shit about shit outside of their stupid little world.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's sad, dude.
Yeah,
It's
so
fucking sad.
That's what I wanted to get to is, okay, so last week we didn't do an episode because of pretty much just because of what's been going on. And I felt if
you
we
need
were,
a break sometimes.
yeah,
Yeah.
I just felt if we were going to do it, I didn't want it to be such a heavy episode. And,
Yeah.
and I felt it would be irresponsible to not talk about it.
Yeah.
So I just would rather just not even put an episode out.
Yeah,
you know?
we got into it a lot in the episode before when we had Brandon on when things were first happening.
Yeah. So what I was going through on Facebook a bunch was I got in an argument with somebody about how they were saying that I was being just as ignorant because I would refuse to listen to opposing ideas, which
They say Black Lives Matter. It's like, no, all lives
when
matter.
they go all
Okay.
lives matter, and then I just go
reason.
block. Don't want you here.
Yeah, right.
Well, because it's people. We all got smoke bombed, bro.
Yeah.
And it was hard to tell where the line was for a while. It's real fucking clear where the line is
yeah.
now. So if you're too stupid to understand what you're saying by all lives matter is I don't care about black people,
Yeah.
then you're too stupid. Then fuck you.
Yeah. I don't want to be around you. I feel
don't
the same
need this.
way.
And I'm pretty sure you do know, and you think it's cute,
Yeah.
and I don't think it's cute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. So that's what I was saying. Okay, so I went on a blocking spree on Facebook.
Sure.
I was just like, I'm like, holy shit, this is eye opening and heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah.
And it was like, all I shared was this thing from George Takei that said, it said you can tell a lot from a person. You can tell a lot about a person if the only time that they decided to speak out was for the riots and not for the murder of George Floyd.
Of course.
And was opposing the riots or whatever. So I shared that tweet on Facebook, and then it turned into. I don't understand how this becomes a fucking debate. Like
Yeah.
what?
People are. If you look at history, fascism has had no problem rising in democracies
Oh, at all.
throughout history, and it's an old game
Yeah.
and it's an old playbook. They just have new weapons called social media.
Yeah.
And people stare at their phones and open the Facebook app more times than they absolutely should every day. We are being brainwashed by our phones.
Oh, yeah.
All of us.
Yeah.
That's our
Absolutely.
that's our general
included,
audience right now, bro.
Me included, and I'm aware of it.
Yeah.
And some people worse than others, and it's unfortunate. We're adapting to an extremely large shift in our civilization,
Yeah.
and I think it's World War III. It's been World War III since 9/11. When
Yeah.
you look at the history books, and power structures are shifting. It's now China's century,
Oh, yeah.
and maps are being redrawn. And when this is all over and done with, we will live in a very different world. And I pray we don't live in a fascist America where all of our rights have been taken away.
Yeah.
from us.
Hopefully not.
Where right is might, because that's third world country shit, and we're functioning very much like a third world country right
absolutely.
Do you think? Okay, but what I was trying to get to, this was a discussion I wanted to have because it's like I don't feel the need to educate people when it's clear where the line is,
They're called trolls.
Yeah.
They're trying to suck you into a fight to get you upset.
Exactly. So
Oh.
I just go and delete the comments because
As
I
you
don't want an
should.
open discussion.
Yeah.
I don't want any, and I even
It's your
put
page. That's
and-
why you have the ability to
exactly.
delete.
So then I even put a post up saying I'm just deleting antagonizing comments. I'm not here to debate with you, dumb motherfuckers.
There's no
Yeah.
doubt.
And
that's
then,
your
and even on
prerogative.
that, I got fucking comments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't
People
even know.
trigger.
People are just like reactionary, and but all it takes is time to just look it up and see what people are talking about. It takes nothing. Like yesterday in our group message, our other friend Javi texted us, and he's like, "People are going crazy about Blazing Saddles
Blazing
on
Saddles,
Twitter."
yeah.
And so my first initial reaction is like, Gen Z finally saw Blazing Saddles, and they didn't get the message, and they're just bitching because of the language that was used. So I'm like, of course, because people were getting mad at Robert Downey Jr. for doing blackface and Tropic Thunder. I'm like, that was 2008. Like, people been there. I was like, oh, new
And
generation.
also, like, Tropic Thunder fucking nailed it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Tropic Thunder is my favorite comic.
What you people? What do you mean? What do you mean, you
Yeah,
people?
that was the whole-
It
that was-
was the best joke ever.
It was the whole point of the fucking movie.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
so-
and they shit on Hollywood executives.
Yes, everything.
For how they did
Everything
it.
about it
Yeah.
was perfect. I
Yeah.
know.
And so I saw that about Blazing Saddles, and I blamed it on Gen Z, just reactionary. Like, Gen Z just doesn't fucking get it. And I'm like, you know what? Let me look and see what's really going on. And I went on Twitter and I started looking, and I'm like, oh, What it was, I guess, HBO Max, Warner Brothers took Gone with the Wind off the platform. And then so people on the right were pissed off about it. And they're like, you're going to take off Gone with the Wind. What about Blazing Saddles? Like, it's just
what
as
about
bad.
the Jews mouthy movie?
Yeah. And so it's just like, oh,
that's our Blazing Saddles. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh God, they don't. Okay, they just don't.
They don't.
What aboutisms, and they just don't get it.
Yeah,
you're talking about Gone with the Wind, a movie that's like glorifying the South and racism and slavery and all that shit, glorifying the South. That's not all the movie was about, but come on.
These are people who call hate speech satire and satire hate speech.
Yeah. Oh, I was just
They're
joking.
fucking dumb.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
But you have a movie like
Well,
Blazing Saddles that's completely anti-racist and making fun of racist white people, but people only hear the language and think like, oh, we got to get rid of that because it's just as bad as that. It's like,
Even
no,
if they know it's comedy, it's still it's weaponizable, so they'll weaponize it.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
They'll take anything.
Yeah.
People with hats are racist.
Yeah.
You're racist, Kevin. but black people can be racist too.
Like,
and that's that. And they can be, I guess. But like the fucking the logic is out the window. I mean,
but people fall into it, and they're just like, you know what, they probably are right, so you probably should get rid of it too.
I just don't.
Because they're like hamsters at a fucking feeding thing. Dude, it's a sickness.
Yeah.
It seriously is.
Well,
social media is like disco, bro. It'll go out of style.
Yeah.
It's poisonous.
I don't know. It's super popular right now. It's like AIDS in the 80s. Like, it's hot.
Do we have to?
It ain't going nowhere anytime soon.
Do we have to throw all our phones into Wrigley Field and
light them on fire? Yeah.
No, but I think we'll change how we interact with them.
Yeah.
I didn't say smartphones will go away. I said social media.
Yeah.
There's more responsible ways to interact with each other than Facebook.
Yeah.
Facebook is built for agitation.
Facebook is the worst. That's why I deleted it years ago.
And so
I can't stand it.
If I swear to God, I've been wanting to do it. Like if I wasn't trying to be an entertainer, I would not fucking have a Facebook.
It's the most robust app available.
Yeah.
People are still on it. It's a great way to market and connect.
And
but you have to know how to use it responsibly, or it can be torturous.
Yeah.
Yes. So we were talking about this too. I mean, Zach, you've been around a lot longer than the both of us.
But in the comedy game?
No, I mean just in life.
Kev looks like an old brother that just took care of his teeth.
No, you look like Harlan Williams a little bit.
I'll take it.
Yeah,
or not look like, but sound like. Oh shit, my bad. You sound
just
like
general old comic vibe.
No, just like your cadence.
Are you being racist against my
I'm
beard?
not being racist. I'm saying your cadence is a lot like Harlan Williams.
All right, I'll take it.
Yeah,
you got a Canadian vibe.
Yeah, you're fucking super. I'm from Pittsburgh. It's pretty close to.
If you told me you guys are cousins, I would 100% believe you.
Okay, I could dig that.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Anyway, has it always been this way, where like people just missing the irony of certain satirical movies?
Oh, absolutely.
But like, has it always been this bad, or is it just because we're now more aware of it because everybody has a voice?
Well, because people can share it. They can do sharing.
Yeah.
Phone.
Well, I think the type of people you're seeing speak on Facebook were people that were very voiceless.
Yeah.
30 years ago. These housewives did not get a public voice 30 years ago.
They were sitting in the house by themselves.
And as much as they now get a voice, so do a lot of other people. So, it's a give and take. They said George Floyd's death, somebody said this, was a more significant event than Dr. Martin Luther King's.
What?
And in the fact that it triggered events globally, it may actually trigger reform, maybe.
Yeah.
But we also have smartphones now.
Yeah.
If MLK would have died in the age of smartphones, you just can't compare the two events. It's like trying to say Kobe Bryant's a better player than Dr. J. They played in different times.
Yeah.
I don't compare players from different eras.
Yeah.
So I think it's the same thing for deaths of.
Yeah, just
that's a
important figures. No.
What
you were saying it makes complete sense.
But I'm just saying, like, you can't compare events in different times.
Yeah, we didn't
completely different circumstances.
We have more reach globally now than we did when Martin Luther King was killed. They had to wait for the paper to come out in their country like the next day. And we know shit immediately as soon as it happened.
Due to apps like Facebook, I could talk to somebody anywhere on the planet right now.
Yeah.
In real time. And that's where the conspiracy theorists, to me, kind of break down. Like, do I think Zuckerberg's a fascist? Probably.
Yeah, look at the haircut.
Do I think he doesn't have the best interest of his users in mind, but yet rather than his stakeholders? Yes. And but do I think like everything's manipulated? And not really, because at the end of the day, I know if I want to talk to the human Ryan Demarest, I can go on my app and text him, and that's actually him telling me what he wants to tell me on the other end, and it still gets there.
Yeah.
So until if the internet still works in a place where I can check it with human, I can get on the phone and verify from my human contacts that everything is in fact what I think it is, it's still a usable tool. But I think they're getting really good at blurring those two and disconnecting us from a real human experience.
Yeah, because you can get a bot. You can write a program, get a bot to have a Facebook account and just like spew bullshit.
So they could hack my friend's account and speak for my friend for an extended period of time. And if I don't see my friend in person
you think
for
that's
2
him.
months, our correspondence may have been manipulated. I mean, this history could be rewritten on servers. That's why we have to protect books.
Oh, dude, yeah. That's right.
But
That's a good point.
Shit is real, man.
Yeah,
shit is real. We got to live through the fucking cool times.
Yo, we've been living through a lot just in our short lifetime.
Dude, I know, man.
With like you brought up 9/11, then the first recession in 2008. Now coronavirus. Now a new recession.
This ain't a new recession. This is about to be a depression, homie.
Like we're fucking.
People haven't felt it yet because the Band-Aids are pretty good when you just turn on the federal money machine.
Oh yeah.
But people don't understand. We just inflated our national deficit by like 30%.
Yeah.
Our total. It's like if you owed $200,000 on your mortgage, now you owe $300,000.
Yeah. You're fucked.
Leave it to the Jew in the room to fucking bring numbers into this conversation.
I'm just saying, you might still be, and the balloon hasn't hit yet.
Yeah, no.
The rate hasn't adjusted.
Those numbers haven't come out yet. It hasn't popped.
China hasn't done what it needs to do to attack the dollar.
Yeah, they haven't said, rent's due.
We're going to get into some foreign policy issues here at some point. And this country is going to need some real leadership, not this fucking dodo head.
Even with Joe Biden, I think Joe Biden's a piece of shit too. Like he's not a better.
He's not a great candidate.
Than Trump, but he's
not
still
a great candidate. And the Democratic Party pulled another heist.
Yeah, they
on Bernie.
Yeah, they fucked him again.
I know.
And it was a little bit cleaner this time.
Yeah.
But it still happened.
And so behind the scenes, they did it on media, like news media, CNN, and shitting on Bernie.
It was just
socialist.
It was more the way. Well, they were wearing him down the entire time.
Yeah.
But then the way that, as soon as he won one like it's like if you were watching a boxing match, and one dude's just beating the fuck out of the other dude.
He's 8-0 on rounds.
And then the one guy wins like one round, and they just call the fight and give it to the guy who won one round.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
He was getting worked.
Yeah.
He won South Carolina heavily because of Clyburn's endorsement.
Yo.
And then every moderate Democrat quit the race and endorsed Joe Biden,
which is crazy to me.
And they were just basically like, it's everybody against Bernie. Bernie, drop out.
Yeah.
Bernie, drop out.
Yeah.
And he did again.
Yeah.
For the good of because he calculated that he thought it was better for the country.
Yeah, can't split the vote. Can't split the left.
I get it, but and also people are calculating that Trump would have wiped the floor with Bernie because the socialism angle is so easy to fucking go.
Yeah.
It's just so easy. And he's he's an old Jewy looking guy, and he would have fit they know how media manipulation works.
Yeah.
He might have lost.
Yeah.
Or he might have wiped the floor with Trump. Nobody fucking knows anymore.
Yeah.
You know how creative they would have to be anti-Semitic without being anti-Semitic with Bernie? Because that's what they're going to attack. Like they're going to say socialism, and he's going to be like a scary Jew, but they can't say scary Jew. And so they're going to use every other word around it. Like, you know what I'm talking? He's a globalist.
Yeah.
Like, they're going to use
his
all that
nose.
bullshit. Yeah.
He wants to take away your boat you worked so hard to get in your retirement.
Yeah.
He wants to take away the American dream.
He's trying to hoard all your money.
Yeah.
And
if you come with me one day, if you work hard, you could be like me.
Yeah.
If you vote for him, the socialist, the government's going to take everything you have and you'll never have it.
He's going to take all your money and give it to the welfare people.
Yeah.
He's going to give it to welfare.
And then they systematically depress the vote of minorities and disenfranchised people, and they need they just need a smaller, healthy margin of whites.
Yeah, that's it.
They're working the game right in front. They're cheating in front of our faces and not giving motherfuck, because they already stacked the Supreme Court. They're stacking all the federal courts.
Oh yeah, they're just pushing all those conservative judges.
They're setting it up for like.
And what's crazy is, did you see like the election that happened in Georgia this week? Fucking 8 hours. People sitting around waiting 8 hours to fucking vote.
Where Stacey Abrams, any election expert would tell you she got robbed by
the Secretary of State, or the state, whatever.
The guy who was
running the election.
The guy in charge of the elections was also running, and then he rigged them in front of everybody's face.
Yeah.
And then nobody could do anything about it and just kick rocks.
Like, oops.
Which is why I think Stacey Abrams should be vice president.
Yeah.
And then Joe Biden should die viciously and ferociously old man attacking Donald Trump on a debate stage.
Just heart attack right there.
Like where one of them old men, because he's not very strong. He's not swinging, so he's got to go for the throat, and it's got to be all my dead son all over Trump's throat, dog.
Yeah.
And then Biden just has a heart attack. And fucking
and then
we're
they're
good.
both gone.
And then everybody wins.
Yeah.
Do you think the Secret Service break up that fight if old man Biden goes at Trump?
Oh, dude.
What do you do?
Just let him go.
What happens?
He's vice president.
It's like cripple fight. Just let him go.
Fight, right? Then the Secret Service looks like pieces of shit for beating up an elderly person.
No, they stay out of it. They let Trump and Biden fair fight.
It's Rocky 5 in the alley.
It's two old guys. You let him go.
Just let him go.
Do you think Trump can fight? Do you think?
No.
I think he weighs 270.
Yeah.
I think he could throw that hit. He's 6'1".
He can probably throw a hand.
He'll maybe throw like 2 or 3 punches, and he's winded.
He's got 2 or 3.
He'll body fight. He'll be like
Biden's ex-military though, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Negatory.
But also Trump was like
he's a career politician and lawyer.
He was raised rich. He didn't have to fight anybody.
Oh, I'm not saying Trump's tough. I'm just saying he outweighs Biden, and in an old man fight, weight helps.
Yeah, that's true.
If he can just wrap his fat around Biden and
just fall on top of him.
But if that's why Biden needs to get in close and do real dirty stuff, go for his throat, scratch his eyeballs out. Get fight dirty, Biden.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Hit him with that my dead son, bro.
No, but on topic.
That's
also
fucked up. I would never want to lose a son. I have a son. That's fucked up. But I want him to hit him with that rage.
Yeah.
That good rage.
No.
Around Biden and Paul.
Oh, shit. Whoops.
No, but I'm saying, like, kind of on topic of other things we were talking about that was in the news. I saw you tweeted about it as well. The whole NASCAR's banning the Confederate flag.
Oh, yeah. How sexy is that?
Oh, dude.
And then that one NASCAR driver was like, I'm quitting NASCAR because of it.
Yeah,
and
he was like the worst fucking driver.
He's from the truck circuit, dude.
You're the minor league.
I've known a truck circuit driver, dude. Yeah. It's rookie. It's basically like it's like bringer NASCAR driving.
Yeah, you're never gonna make it.
My aunt's bringer NASCAR driving.
It really is. It's bigger NASCAR driving. Like you get your own car.
Oh, that's such
you
a
got
good way to put it.
$20,000 to like put into it. Like they'll sell you. You can go race in the NASCAR.
You got to sell at least 10 tickets. To
yeah. It's like sending around an Ice House video because you got taped at a bringer show. It's like, calm down, bro.
My aunt's
then saying you're an Ice House regular or a store regular because you played a bringer show in the main room. Calm down. Stop it.
That's all me, dog.
Bringer NASCAR driver.
That's so funny. Now my aunt's
it's like you're taking a big shot.
My aunt's ex-husband was a truck guy in right here in Irwindale.
Yeah. I've gone to guys. I knew a guy. I don't want to say his name.
Yeah.
But he did it at Irwindale too. I went to see him race, and he had his little team. And he had it, everybody had day jobs.
Yeah, motherfucker still got to be a janitor during the day.
Yeah, this wasn't their profession, and they didn't have real sponsors. They paid out of pocket.
Yeah,
NASCAR.
Here's the thing, though. This is where I kind of feel bad, but don't feel bad. Like, how bad does it have to be like a racist white dude now? You can't watch the NBA. You can't watch football. Now you can't watch NASCAR because they won't let you fly. You're fucking. When are you gonna realize like maybe
you're wrong?
Maybe
I'm
wrong.
the problem.
Maybe I'm the problem. Like no, it's
I don't
everybody
know if
else.
you heard they have another sport. It's called hunting black people, and they live stream it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very
And
true.
Muslims.
Yeah.
And they did that in Christchurch. When I saw that guy live stream that video of him killing those people in that mosque, I cried for it was the most inhumane, disgusting shit I've ever seen.
I couldn't watch it.
There were people huddled in the corner, and he just, people, women and children huddling over their wounded, and he just sprayed them all with a machine gun like it was a video game. It was disgusting.
Wait, I don't think I heard
the
about
one
this.
in New Zealand.
In New Zealand, where the guy went at the Christchurch shooting, where he went into
a
mosque with an assault rifle, and he live streamed it, dude. And,
I did hear about this. Yeah,
it was fucking.
I didn't
nuts.
watch the video. I don't need to see.
Some guy greeted him and said, "Hello, brother," at the thing, and then he shot him. And then everybody ran, and he was just going room to room, sweeping it like it was a video game, but with unarmed people praying. It was disgusting, dude.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, we live in a 66666.
It's weird too. Okay, again, going back to maybe the social media things. Like Steve and I have been talking about this a lot. Like I grew up a little sheltered, whereas like, I got a very liberal family, and it just like I never saw color in any way, and no one, I never understood any of it, and I never saw any of it, right? Not
as far as racism?
As far as racism at all. Like it was not even existent to me. And then not even until like my mid 20s did I start really seeing some shit. Yeah. And I think a lot of it had to do with social media and stuff like that. And then
and me
and you
being friends like, my girlfriend's doing a backyard show in East LA. Like, do you want to go? I'm like, no.
He goes, no, I'm black.
No, like I can't just hang around East LA in the middle of the night. Like I don't know what part of the city.
And I was like, oh, you're right. Yeah.
Like I don't know what cholos are gonna be there. Like that's dangerous.
I think it's like the Matrix. It's like you don't. Then once you see it, it's very clear.
Yeah.
Because the systematic racism, like you don't see it, but it's all around.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And it's like me too. I grew up in I lived in Cleveland, which was pretty. I lived in Cleveland Heights, so most of my neighbors were white or black, but pretty mixed.
Yeah.
Well, I grew up out here. I mean, I went to school just right up the street. I mean, it's like I had Jew friends, black
lower
friends,
middle
fucking
class,
Asian
class
friends.
American, everybody's
working
different. Working class folks. And it's like, so you think there's no racism, but then if you think back, you look at like certain positions, certain like structures around you. We're at your parents' work, at my dad's job, none of the executives were people of color. They were all white men.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, from a Jewish perspective, it was never a threat.
Yeah.
So you don't think about it a lot because we blend with the whites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though I was raised to know that we support brown people. We're with the brown people, not the whites. Because at the end of the day, they can come for the Browns, and then they're coming for us. They're always coming for us. We know. So, like, it's better to support other minorities.
Well, you got all the fucking money.
Yeah.
And that's why when the revolution starts, I want you guys to know Zach Miller Dog and his synagogue are. This is gonna go bad. I was gonna talk about a crate full of guns and.
Hey, you know what? Actually, let's take this moment to talk about your business.
What is my business?
Your I don't know, your fucking distribution or whatever the fuck you're doing.
I'm not in distribution.
Whatever.
I'm a comic.
I mean, you're over here with a rocking a fanny with your product.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I'm a comic who works to help market cannabis companies in different ways.
Yeah, you go.
And I owned a shop in Compton for a short period of time until the city of Compton decided we should no longer have that shop.
City of Compton.
They were like, nah.
Why?
Because
all the drug dealers.
We got in under their old law, and we did everything legally, and they don't like things done legally. They like them done illegally, so they can rob you, and you can't do anything about it.
Of course.
But they kept trying to rob us, and we were like, "Nah, you're gonna need a warrant to come in this building."
Yeah, I know my rights.
And then it's a long story. One day they showed up with a warrant, but it was bullshit. But they used that warrant, the fake warrant, to throw me in handcuffs and destroy our shop and rob us and put us out of business. So we've been in the long arm of the legal process for a better part of 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's happening. Hopefully we'll come to terms at some point. We'll see what happens. But COVID didn't help. We were supposed to go to trial in April, and then that got wrecked by COVID. So
when are the courts opening back up?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't. They change that. Well, it's not just the courts. It's the courts, and then are they able to have jury trials? I was hearing stories about, as my friend's brother's a defense attorney, my partner's brother. They're both attorneys. My partner in the shop was an attorney.
What a surprise!
And his brother, he's a brother, black dude from Missouri, Mike Fletcher,
okay,
and he's an attorney.
What's his name?
Mike Fletcher.
Okay.
And his brother is an attorney, and he was talking about people he's representing who can't get a trial.
Yeah.
Who are just stuck in fucking jail because they can't get
Just
a trial
working,
over bullshit.
So here's the thing. Here's my litmus test, because they keep talking about opening up. I saw they were saying like June 13th, whatever. The gyms and shit like that in LA can open back up, which I'm skeptical of, because like when Hollywood productions can go back into play and when the courts can open back up, because that's a lot of upper middle class, upper people.
Mm-hmm.
Once those they say are safe to open, then I'm like, okay, everything is cool, because they don't give a fuck about us lower class, middle class, fucking us people.
Oh yeah.
Y'all go out to the gym and work and make us money and kill yourselves.
Yeah.
We don't care. But once their businesses start to open up, the law firms open up, the courts open back up, and like the actual movie productions like open back up officially, then I feel like it'd be okay. It might be safe to go out, because those people are working with people like us in the courtrooms or on sets. You got your high, execs and your directors and things like that.
Yeah,
but they're working with like about low level grips and PAs and assistants, things like that. So I'm like, once those officially open and people are starting doing the courts and the productions, and I'm like, okay, then we might be okay,
Or we're just at that point and we might not be okay, but who knows the difference, because all the information's fucked.
True, yeah. I saw some other shit where it's like the CDC, or I don't know, it couldn't have been the CDC. I didn't read the full article, but it was talking about like asymptomatic people maybe can't.
They shrunk the window from 14 days to 3. It's from what I've been able to gather, is that the story the whole time was that you could be asymptomatic and transmit for 14 days. They've now said it seems more likely that you can be asymptomatic and transmit for 3 days before you become symptomatic, which, again, is still a lot more than, I guess, the flu from again, I don't like doing this epidemiology. Like, I gotta know
I have no idea.
I gotta convince everybody that I know when I don't.
Okay.
I'm just giving the best info I seem to get together.
So, I was talking to Zach outside about Bricky and Garrett when we did FamCast last week.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking about we got haircuts, right? We all
got finally able to go to the barber shop. Jesus, what is happening?
It's because you took your headphones off.
Yeah, and it just went crazy. But it's finally.
That's a clean ass line right there, bro.
Yeah, I know. I was looking pretty bummy for a very long time because I hadn't had a haircut since like February.
Wow. You got a fresh gold do rag to put on now.
So. Oh yeah, no, the gold do rag hasn't shown up yet.
This is my homemade haircut. I did this myself.
It looks good.
It's like a Jew hawk.
Yeah.
It's basically I just took my clippers, I did the sides, and then like behind my ear.
Yeah.
And then that's it. That's my haircut.
You're still styling.
Yeah,
and then I keep my beard trimmed up, and fucking sex happens, dog. Metaphorical sex, actual sex, the sex I'm about to have with this rallies after I leave here, dog. Oh, we're almost. You guys got about. How long do we got?
We're at 50 minutes.
Oh, you got 10 more minutes, and I'm getting fucking rallies. That's what I love about this.
Where's our rallies around here?
East of here on my way home.
Oh, okay.
I found it on my app. I think it's in Baldwin Park or something.
Rallies.
I don't know, east of here. Whatever's east of here.
Rallies. I think Rallies is in like Claremont. No? Because aren't you on the way that way?
I'm headed east. It's east.
Yeah. You're in the IE.
Yeah. Claremont.
Yeah.
Probably.
It's going down. Rallies is disrespected or not really in the radar of like everybody talks shit about burgers.
Yeah.
Acting like they know things and they don't even bring up Rallies. Rallies is all right. I like Rallies.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't even think I've had it ever.
Well, you should look into it. It's within driving.
Oh shit!
What was that? Firecrackers?
His beer. Well.
This is why you don't do podcasts with drunk people, folks.
God! I spilled so much on my balls.
That's what she said.
Jesus.
Okay.
Girls don't have balls.
So
No, it's farther than I thought. It's on the other side. Yeah, it's in Baldwin Park.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
The other side of the 605.
All right.
really?
Yeah, no,
It's,
no,
I had no idea.
not
Well,
that far from here.
next time we go to Hobbies.
man. Well, yeah, no. I mean, I know we've had our burger wars talks and things.
So
like
before we
Hold on,
go,
we're about to go into a deep dive of burgers.
you want to go into the burgers?
We're
Let's
going
get
to the
the burgers.
burgers.
Okay, and then we got to talk about skating before we go.
We got to talk about burgers, skating, and then I wanted to say a couple things about.
Okay,
comedy.
hold on. Let's go real quick.
Okay, go.
Favorite fast food burger?
Wendy's.
Really?
If I could only have one burger from one chain,
Yeah.
moving forward, yeah, it's Wendy's.
I'd say overall, Wendy's would probably be my number 2 because the Frosty. I like their fries a lot.
Their fries and Frosties together are, are excellent.
Yeah.
Their
Well,
burgers
their bacon-
are
we're
fresh,
talking-
never frozen.
Yeah,
We're
They're-
talking places that have to have a drive-through. That's what makes them.
yeah. We're
right.
talking about Wendy's.
Okay.
Wendy's got a drive-through.
Yeah, I know. I'm
Yeah.
fucking saying because In-N-Out's always my number one,
Yeah,
and then
mine too. But yeah,
But I couldn't do In-N-Out I couldn't do In-N-Out as often as I could do Wendy's. That's
Yeah.
me personally. But I get it.
Only-
In-N-Out's banging, but it's a very specific thing.
yeah, and the lines are always super fucking long, so
That
it's never a
In-N-Out.
quick trip
it
to
doesn't get
In-N-Out.
too bad at this one right here by my house.
Bullshit! Every time I drive by this one right here,
Yeah, they go
line down the block.
It goes fast. It's
Every
not-
In-N-Out is busy all the time,
Yeah.
always, and with
That's
COVID
how you know.
even
That's what we were
more.
talking about. That's how you know that shit is fire.
Yeah,
'Cause-
they're good, and their
Yeah.
quality, their quality control is second to none.
yeah.
but Wendy's is good number 2.
But I fuck with Wendy's big time. I
Yeah.
fuck with Arby's.
Arby's.
I don't
but-
fuck with Arby's at all.
Oh, really?
Nah, I went for the first time.
I'll fuck with pastrami melt every now and then.
Yeah, their Reuben sandwich is the jam and a
Yeah.
half. And
Yeah.
they got that gyro, and you can get beef and cheddars.
See, I
If
think,
anybody anywhere wants to disrespect beef and cheddars, we can fight right now.
I think my problem with Arby's, because I didn't go for a very long time, but I really love going to like Italian or even Jewish delis to get like a Reuben or
A
just
real Reuben, yeah, of course,
Yeah, and-
no doubt.
So I've always had those, so they're like fire. And so like I've gone to Arby's a few times. I'm like, oh, let me just get this, even like the fast food version, and it's still just like so shitty to me. Then it's
Oh
just
yeah,
like-
I mean you don't want to think it's an actual corned beef sandwich. It's an Arby's corned beef sandwich.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
like their roast beef sandwich isn't actual roast beef. It's Arby's roast
Have
beef.
you been to Jean's Grinders in Morovia?
I think so, yeah. Because I
That
think there was
sounds
like a
good.
Jeans grinder. And,
Grinders.
like,
Grinders are good. That's an East Coast.
Man, I just
Yeah.
went to I got a fucking
Best hoagie spot.
I got a roast beef dip from
Yeah.
that place, man. Fire, guy.
Yeah.
That's why I don't know if you've been there. I gotta
Jersey
take you.
Mike's or Subway?
oh, Jersey Mike's.
Jersey Mike's.
Yeah.
Nice. Well played.
But our boy in Houston on Colt
Oh.
45 podcast,
Big Whataburger.
he's a big Whataburger guy. And
I've never had
I've never
Whataburger.
had Whataburger.
I've heard it's fucking amazing.
I've had Whataburger, and it is good.
Whataburger, isn't it?
Whataburger. Whataburger.
Whataburger.
Whataburger.
Yeah.
I pronounce it wrong.
fucking
all the time.
whatever, dude.
Yeah.
Whataburger.
It's
Whataburger.
fucking
Is
retarded.
it In-N-Out good?
To me, no. What I compare Whataburger to, you've been to like these mom and pop burger shops, like a Jim's Burgers or things like
You
that.
ever been to Louis Burger in Compton?
I have not.
Louis Burger's banging.
But it's like, yeah, but there's mom and pop like burger shops. So,
Andy's. Oh,
dude,
yeah.
fuck.
yeah, so to me, Whataburger
Nick's right
was
here.
that. Whataburger was that. To me.
It
Whereas-
tasted more like a mom and pop burger.
Yeah, which was still good. I'm not saying it was bad.
Yeah.
But if I had a choice, do I want to go to a mom and pop or a Whataburger? Do I want to go to In-N-Out? I'll go to In-N-Out.
What does Whataburger put on it? Do they put is it like ketchup mustard or is it like?
Yeah, you can do it however you like. Like they have so many different options. Like it's
But
not
there's
like,
no standard Whataburger like there is at
It's a
In-N-Out.
Texas
No.
thing, so I think they sprinkle racism on it.
yeah.
I could believe that.
You
You
get,
know
a
what I had the
Confederate,
other
you get a
day?
small little Confederate flag with every. You know how here we had the Jack in the Box antennas? They
Yeah.
have Confederate flag
Confederate-
antennas that come with every meal
I
that you
believe
can
that.
pop on your antenna.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Dude, you guys could. White Castle is on the way home from Vegas in
Yeah.
Jean.
Yeah.
They're only in Nevada because they're like one of those kind of
Yeah,
whitey
In-N-Out,
Bro.
In-N-Out
companies.
too.
They
Bro,
won't pay
Whataburger-
taxes in California, but they're in Nevada.
White Castle is good.
Banging. They make it right in front of you too. I never
Yeah.
saw them make it like that.
Here's how good White Castle is. When I was
Never
in
had it.
college. I went to college in Kansas, and I was in a fraternity, and we had a fraternity conference in St. Louis, and we went there, and they had a White Castle. So we're like, we're going, and we got like 2 briefcases of sliders. It was like 30
Oh.
sliders.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We got
Yeah.
2 each, and we fucking destroyed them in the room. And they
Destroy
were
it.
delicious. But then the next day, every single one of us had horrible shits like all day.
It's possible you got food poisoning.
Yeah, we were fucked up.
But that's not White Castle's fault.
This is how good White
Yeah.
Castle was. Even though we were fucked up and shitty nonstop the next day,
You
we still went to
back.
that same White Castle
And
the
got
next
more.
night, ate it again, and got fucked up again. But
I'm-
we're like, yo, it was too good not to eat it.
I'm the same way about the Rainbow Bar and Grill pizza. It's
That's a real dumb Californian thing to say. Like we're talking about legendary White Castle
I
nights,
know.
and you bring up some random
The
spot
Rainbow.
nobody's ever been to, some fucking local pizza joint in El Monte that nobody gives a fuck.
Rainbow Bar and Grill in fucking Hollywood. It's a
Next to
legendary
Roxy.
spot.
Rainbow Bar and
The
Grill.
Rainbow Bar and Grill right next door to the Roxy. It's a legendary
Yeah,
rock and
Sunset
roll
Strip.
joint, dude.
Really?
Yes.
I've never heard of that. I'll have to
Let me.
try it.
I didn't know about it either until we.
Is
started
it like
hanging
swingers? What is it?
out. Swingers was dope. I love going
Swingers
to
just went
Swingers.
out of
No, it's-
business.
I know it's so sad.
It's a rock and roll bar and grill that like all like rock stars hang out at,
And it's good food.
and
I never had the food there.
the pizza's bomb. The fucking I hear the soup that they have is bomb. The burgers are good. But the pizza, like, okay, when I was not, this is probably gonna sound the most fucking Hollywood piece of shit sentence, but when I was in my band, we'd hang out at the Rainbow all the time, and we'd always have the pizza either after a gig or practice or whatever, because that's where we would practice and hang out. And then all three of us would shit like nonstop the next day, but then we'd be there back again the next fucking day. But the pizza was so good, but God, it made a
Maybe
shit.
it's less the food and more the booze.
I probably
Probably.
I love
'Cause,
it,
yeah, you
everything.
can't really judge food when you drank all night.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, but we got a couple minutes left to do. We want to talk about
So
skating.
you wanted to talk about
Okay.
skateboarding.
Yeah.
So I am always impressed that you are, what are you, 30?
Yeah, I just turned 30.
But you look like 45, 50. So like the fact that you're able to still nail kickflips, when I saw you busting like rails and kickflips on the internet, I was like, is that fucking Ryan D? That motherfucker? I'm
Yeah.
so jealous. I wish I could skateboard.
It's all muscle memory, dude. It's weird because like my center of gravity is completely off now because I'm
Yeah.
fucking 240 pounds.
yeah.
But yeah, but it's like once I get on a board and once I get warmed up and limbered up a little bit, like it's like I'm back.
Oh,
Like, I
I'll
get it.
hurt myself, bro. Like I was never a really good skater, but I skated a lot
Mm.
in the like late 80s where I could, I could ollie, I could, do a couple little tricks, and I could go pretty fast and carve and whatever without falling.
But
Yeah.
now,
But if I tried to go fast on a skateboard right now, I would get fucked up.
Right.
Right.
And I know I'd hit a rock and end up on my
Oh,
face,
pebbles.
or just in general, like I'm just built to be hurt now.
No, I was
And that's a get hurt sport.
yeah, it is. I know. Well, I broke my wrist. I just got it out of a cast like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
At 30,
Yeah.
I was in the hospital at 30, but because I picked a fight with some Marines at a Buffalo Wild Wings.
well,
How'd
they
that go?
probably deserved it. You know, they're
it didn't
dumb.
go good. I woke up in an MRI.
Yeah.
Mexico!
Dude, your soundboard's great, man. you have one of the fucking best soundboards.
All right.
So that's what I wanted to say about skateboarding. I hope you skate or die for life.
I am. I really do. And it's like every time I say that I don't want to do it, or like, it's just one of those things where it's just, I won't do it for years or months or whatever. And then
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'll get like a fucking wild hair up my ass to go.
I know, but every time you text me like, "Yo, I'm gonna go skating tomorrow," I'm waiting. Like, I don't say it to you, but I'm thinking like, I'm gonna get that text. He's in the
You
hospital.
in the hospital.
No, I don't
No.
skate. No.
Can you drop in on a half pipe?
Yeah.
Oh boy, that's fucking huge.
I used to be pretty fucking good. When I was at like 22, I almost got a sponsorship.
Most people would think if they looked at the two of you that Kevin has a larger dick. Clearly, that's not the case. You could drop in on
Why does
a
it keep calling
fucking
you
half-
Kevin?
I don't know. People do that all the time. Steven,
Steven.
Captain America.
Do people do that all the time? Call
Yeah,
you
it's
Kevin?
weird.
My mom
Yeah,
called
it's-
him Kevin
Yeah.
for like the
I
longest
don't know why I
time.
keep calling you
I
Kevin.
don't
did it
know
What is
every
up with
time.
that? I just realized that.
Yeah.
No, my mom called him.
Steve Rogers, I called him Captain America.
Yeah, when we started.
That's what I don't understand.
My mom.
You're very Kevin-y, bro.
Yeah. Even fucking like the other two idiots that did Timber. He would call me Kevin all the time too.
I'm so sorry.
It's just
man.
like,
I
no,
really
like,
didn't
that's
mean
why-
to.
I
But
knew what you were-
Steven, Kevin, I guess. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's weird that you don't look like a Kevin to me.
No, not at all.
It's not about how you look. I think it's just a fucking Steven.
Yeah.
It's the
a
Vin
Vin.
part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they get
And
you
people
off.
say Kevin more than they say Steven.
Yeah.
Steven's actually pretty
My
rare.
mom could not remember his name, so and now he rents a room for my mom.
No, she used to call me Kenny for.
Oh, Kenny,
Yeah.
that's what she called you.
And the first 20 times I met her, it was like, oh, it's Kenny. Hey, I'm Angie. I'm like, we've met.
And I kept telling her, I'm like, Mom, I have one. I'm like, Mom, I have one black friend. Like, I do not remember his name.
Because I think like when I first met your mom, she had just beat cancer, and so she was just out partying and celebrating life. So every time I saw her, she was fucked up.
Well, she also had chemo. Chemo
so
brain.
It was like right afterwards. So
okay.
So she was partying hard and celebrating.
No chemo brain. She was drunk.
She was hammered.
And
that was when she was trying to party with me and hang out.
Yeah. So every time she's like, "Hey, I'm Angie." I'm like, "We met like 8 times. I'm Steve."
That must be a fun time after you beat the old cancer.
Oh yeah.
And then
parties are hot.
And going through a divorce.
Yeah, that's that lit time.
She was she was on fire around that time. Okay, skateboarding. You said you were like into it in the 80s, like Bones Brigade era.
Yeah, I mean, I'm about that age.
The Gator days.
Killing it. Yeah.
So on my era was the Jamie Thomas, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater days.
Oh yeah, once it was already like really popular.
Yeah. Well, when street skating became really big.
Again. Because Tony Hawk actually killed street skating with the X Games.
Yeah, with the vert. Yeah,
no, that's vert skating.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah,
he said he killed street.
He killed street to get vert popular with ESPN to make billions of dollars.
Yeah.
But then his game kind of brought it back. But street skating when I was a kid was less about the skateboarding, more about like just getting away from your fucking parents.
Yeah.
And like
that's how it was at first, and then
smoking cigarettes in gas station parking lots and fucking shredding.
And look, there was definitely a bunch of those people that would be around, but like for me, it was they got to a point where it was like fuck, like I wanted to be pro, like that was like my dream for.
Because that was a realistic thing in Southern California because there was pros around and great places to skate. I was doing this in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly. You watch skate videos and like I know all of these spots that they're at.
I mean, and I would run into pros at skate parks all the time and spots and whatnot, and it was like I'd get free shit from.
It's crazy how much access there are to skate parks in California.
Yeah.
When I was a kid in Pittsburgh. There was one skate park in the whole metropolitan area of Pittsburgh, and it was indoors, and there were rollerbladers there, and you had to pay like
fruit booters
$15 an hour or something back in the 90s. I don't know. It was expensive. It was expensive. It was called Shady Skates. And but out here, you guys just got like outdoor parks everywhere.
I mean, the concrete jungles.
Chino Hills has a 6 skate park. Fucking Eastville has a 6 skate park. Fucking every city has a skate park.
It's funny because you can see, like I was talking to him. I went to the one in San Dimas, which is one of the first ones in the San Gabriel Valley.
Yeah.
And like San Dimas and Glendora, the white neighborhoods, right?
Yeah.
Those two are terrible parks. They're not. You can tell they're not built by skaters.
Yeah.
And the transitions are all fucked, which is why I like going there because I won't get shown up by a bunch of little fucking kids.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Who are like pro, because that park sucks. The really good people won't go.
Right. Do you skate Menace?
Have you? I've tried. It's always so fucking packed. But even back when I was like, when I was still back, like my prime, I was like 23.
Yeah.
I went down there on the best time I went. Me and my brother went on Thanksgiving in the morning.
Empty.
Yeah. And that was the best. That was the best time I got to skate at Venice.
And there's always pros there. They're real territorial too, right?
And anytime I go to Venice, I always just skate the old spots that they have there, the little kink rail and the pads and stuff. Like I won't even go to the skate park.
You ever take your board, trucks out, and just bust a motherfucker in the face?
I've never done it. I've seen my brother do it.
It's a great weapon.
Yeah.
When jocks try and pick on skaters and catch a fucking
trucks to the teeth.
Some guys. Well, my older brother was who got me into it. He's actually Steve and him were friends first. That's how we became friends.
Oh, right on. How does your brother feel about Kevin? Steve's other personality.
Yeah, my other older ego.
I'm gonna start calling you Kevin when you get drunk.
Probably. I do.
Short motherfucker.
Yeah. I tend to go on some angry rants when I get drunk sometimes.
What was I saying? Oh,
let's wrap this up shortly. Though,
yeah. Sorry,
let's go. Like, we're done. We're at an hour.
I was getting to it. Yeah. Well, no, my older brother. Shit. Realized you did that earlier. Yeah. My older brother was just way gnarlier than I was. So I was more tech. He was more just like balls to the wall, leaping off of ledges.
Crazy.
I mean, he was nuts. He was like hitting handrails and
20 stairs.
Kickflip. And like for me, every now and then I'd hit. I mean, the most I did was like an 8 stair, kickflip an 8 stair in West Covina, the skate park there.
Fuck. You're a G, man.
Well, hold on. So, I mean, I'm just trying to wrap it up because I know our man wants to leave. So,
Yeah.
Zach, where can people find you?
Where you already put it. At Zach Miller Dog. You don't even need to do that on podcasts
I know,
anymore.
but
If they found me, they'll find me.
We also record.
Okay, one
we also
more-
have a
Oh,
recording, so
okay.
they can't
Yeah.
see it live.
One
At
more.
Zach Miller Dog, ZachMillerDawg. Dowg.
At Twitter.
Grab me another beer, please.
Yeah.
That's
One-
on Twitter and Instagram and a bunch of other places.
One more thing before you go. We didn't
What's
really
up,
talk about comedy too much, but what do you think the new world's gonna be with stand-up? I'm booked July 31st in San Diego, Comedy Heights. But like, I haven't been on stage since February, and I don't even fucking know where to start.
Get to know the audience. Let them get to know you. Do some of your material.
No.
You're going to have to, it's going to take a little more. It won't be for rookies, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, like and that's what I was telling.
I don't know either. I got to go on stage.
I mean, you
in a
haven't been
couple
up
weeks.
either.
Yeah, dude.
Well, because that's what I was thinking. Like, you guys are all in the same playing field.
I'm going to use some of my old material, like some of my personal stuff, and write a bunch of new stuff. But I think people are still going to want to hear old jokes, like
Yeah, of course.
yeah,
as long as
absolutely.
they're not outdated.
But don't you think? Don't you like everyone's gonna? You need to talk about it. It's not like we can come back from this fucking thing.
I don't think you
I
did.
don't know how much you really need to that much, depending on the show.
Because, like, yeah, all the other hacky comics.
Unless you have real good, polished material about
Yeah.
it, you're better off doing your act than talking about shit that people don't
I
want to hear
guess.
about.
I think I'm overthinking it because like then I talked to him about it a lot because I missed the fuck out of it
I think you should tell this to the audience and don't be afraid to, and then
Okay.
perform some of your old jokes.
yeah.
Because I want to see the audience doesn't know you. They've never seen your act before, most likely. So do your best material for them. That's what they came to see, a great
Yeah.
comedy show.
Yeah, you're right.
And
You're right.
and maybe address it like, hey, I don't have anything to say about COVID except whatever. You can
No.
say a couple things, but I wouldn't dwell
Right.
on COVID
But
or Black Lives Matter or whatever. Because
Yeah, no,
it's not why people came to
I
the
know.
show. They
Yeah.
came to see your best act.
but
Been
I feel
dealing
like
with it
if
for
you
months.
go on stage and don't even say anything, it's kind of like I mean,
No.
especially for my first time going back, like it's kind of fucking weird.
But
Is
think
it your show?
Yeah.
Huh?
Is it your show that you're
No,
producing?
no.
Then I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay.
I would just do your act. But if you have material or things you want to say it.
I mean, I've talked about it.
Yeah.
We were talking about how like I wanted to do well. It's not much of a bit as much as this truth that I wasn't worried about COVID because I was abusing myself with substance this entire time that I don't even like. I would have died from a heart attack or diabetes well before the COVID got me.
That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you could die of those other things because of COVID, like most other people who have died of COVID.
Weak.
I mean, listen, it's a depressing ass topic.
Yeah,
It's
it
a
is.
I
fucking
know.
virus.
It's hard.
There's very good few. There's
And
very few good
all the
angles
all the hackneyed
Yeah.
motherfuckers are gonna be.
Yeah, that's why it's low hanging fruit at this point.
Yeah.
So just like fucking leave
Well,
it
that's
alone
why.
and do
That's
your
why
act.
I just overthink
See how
it.
the show goes. I think it's a game time decision. If you have some new COVID jokes you want to try them out. But it's like any other new material, sandwich in the middle, see how it goes.
Is that how you do it? That's how I do it.
Yeah,
I always
it's the
sandwich in
best
the
way to
middle.
do it.
Yeah.
Close strong, open strong.
Um,
But that's that, y'all.
Yeah. So Zach, thank you for coming on. It was a great
It was
time.
not
All
as
right,
hot
man.
as I thought it would be in here, and this is a well ventilated room.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure. All right.
Every fucking time. I'm
Get
sorry.
some of that.
I'm sorry.
What the fuck is happening?
Every time I take
Is it
them
because
off.
we're so close together? Maybe that's
My-
what. That's
I-
probably
who
why.
fuck- who knows?
Something with this and this.
Yeah.
And that and that. It's your mic and something.
I think it's because you're plugged into the board.
Oh, that's probably why.
Your headphones are on the
Yeah.
board.
There's something about how you're getting feedback.
All right, mother.
Either way, Zach
Fuckers.
Miller at Zach Miller Dog on Twitter and Instagram. Follow
Thank
him.
you, Zach. We love you.
Easy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take a piss before I get out.
Yeah.
Coming out.
All right, dude.
Yeah, no, we're coming out.